Hello, this is T Chapman 500, and in this video I will be doing 128 races in NASCAR SimRacing's career mode. NASCAR SimRacing was developed by EA Sports after 18 months of research and development. Believe it or not, all this research resulted in them publishing an obvious beta. If you want this game to work on Windows 10, good luck. I used a bit of trickery to get this to work on Windows 10 so it'd be possible to make this video without 5 frames per second on the Windows XP virtual machine. Perhaps I'll release a video later on. Anyways, we're here in NASCAR SimRacing for the career mode, the relatively shallow career mode. We're going straight to the Cup, although 3 series are available: NASCAR Trucks, NASCAR Nationals, and NASCAR Cup. We're going to be doing the minimum race length possible with the full schedule and minimum AI difficulty. And also with the flag rules turned off, which I definitely won't regret later on. Once you are done selecting your series, you get to select your car's make and number. You also have other ways to customize the car, like the number style, the paint scheme, the contingency stickers, and a pop-up color palette dialog box which allows you to select the approximate color that you want. Once you're done customizing your very first race car, you click on Headquarters, then go to My Office, start up some research projects, and then sign sponsors. Don't even bother with the Merchandise tab. Merchandise in this game is completely useless. Anyways, once you're done with that, you click on Done and then click Load the next race. One of the things required to get NASCAR SimRacing to work on Windows 10 is the No CD patch, which has the added benefit of requiring you to manually load your setup for each and every session. Anyways, it's time to race. So here we are, sitting on the pole position for race number 1 after a 2-minute intro. This is the initial pace lap, which I have the option to skip, but I'm not going to. At least, not live, that is. Watch the artificial morons very carefully as the pace car goes into pit road. As you can see, they checked up quite a bit, so I have no real competition to worry about. Not that it matters with the AI at 75%, as you can tell by this gap right as I cross the start-finish line. Here are the complete race results. If I crash out, you'll see this screen immediately. Here's what happens if you win the 500. In spite of the fact that there's not a scratch on my race car, I still have to repair it. Aerodynamics research is complete, so it's time to research it again. Remember, each one of these levels is a triple penalty. Now it's time to sign on a new sponsor and load the next race. But in my haste to get through this season, I accidentally skipped the qualifying session, so we're starting in the back. As you can see, I didn't get a very good start, but the AI is at 75%, so it'll be easy to catch back up. By the exit of turn 2, I had already passed about a third of the field, and there's not a scratch on it. Rats. Coming off of turn 2 on lap 2, I got clipped by Kurt Busch. Now the car definitely has some damage to it. However, this track isn't as aero sensitive as Daytona. Not that it would matter anyway, with the AI at 75%, I'm already in the lead. And did I mention that it's still only lap 2? And by the way, I have to deal with this gimmick until after Martinsville. And that's another win in the bag. 126 wins to go. Here's what happens if you win 2 races in a row. Now all I need to do is repair the car and sign another sponsor. At least I remembered to qualify this time. I got the pole, and the win without so much as a scratch. The unprecedented winning streak will be the subtitle from now on, unless I break the winning streak. Now it's time for the same old routine of repairing the car, researching, and signing sponsors. Shocking! I got the pole. I sure hope I don't crash out of the race. Don't you just love it how the car lurches to the right the moment you floor it? Lapping the field is a bad idea. I really ought to just stop it one of these days before I crash out. Another good reason to stop lapping the field is that you don't have to worry about smashing into things. Don't you dare come down on me, Kenseth. I said don't come down on me. Those repairs are expensive. Oh look, we're at Bristol. What could possibly go wrong? This car better not have any damage at the end. Well, I'm glad this is finally over. Those are gonna be some expensive repairs. Anyways, I qualified pole for Martinsville, but just barely, and this has to do with the fact that the AI have 15% more grip than the players. Overall, my car is at 83%, but the AI's grip increase raises their difficulty from 75% to 90%. But only for Martinsville. At other tracks, the grip level for the AI is different. For this track, EA Sports compensated for the fact that the AI brake too early by giving them more grip in the turns. Well, the race is almost over, and at least I didn't spin! That could have ended a whole lot worse. Oh look, my aerodynamics research has finished early. That's what you get with a winning streak in this game. Sometimes. Race number 7 was at Texas. As you can see, I got the pole. And the win. And what do you know, I won Phoenix too. In NASCAR SimRacing, a number of companies will agree to sponsor you for a number of races. When these contracts expire, you can sign new contracts. McDonald's awards $1 million, which is the highest of any sponsor in the game. Race number 9 is pack racing at Talladega. But not for me, because my car is at 83%, the AI cars are at 75%. And this is basically the maximum immersion level you can get in NASCAR SimRacing without editing any files. That is until the scoreboard comes up when you cross the start-finish line every other lap, because I forgot to disable that after Martinsville. And this is what my screen used to look like back in the day. Very immersive. By the way, I won this race without a scratch. You might be wondering why my car is still at 83% when I've been researching aerodynamics all this time. It's because I haven't built a new car with all the upgrades. Race 10 is at the Darlington Speedway. All I need to do is load my setup and skip to the qualifying session. Well, unfortunately, I skipped the qualifying session by mistake again, so I'm starting in 43rd. I sure hope I can make up 42 spots on this narrow track. Oh, look at that. I successfully made up 42 spots in only a handful of laps, but with heavy damage from contact with other cars and contact with the wall. Now I can really let this car loose. Me winning Darlington was a foregone conclusion, just like me winning Richmond from the pole was a foregone conclusion. Race number 12 is the Coke 600 at Charlotte, or should I say the Coke 18 at Charlotte. I bet I could win this race easily with an 83% car at 100% AI difficulty. Running the full distance, no less. And yes, the AI are just that slow at Charlotte. Oh look, my aerodynamics research is completed. I'll just sell this car, which is at 83%, and build a new car, which will have all of the aerodynamics upgrades. If you decide to build another car in career mode, you get greeted with this screen. And just like that, my car is now at 93%. The next thing I want to max out is grip. I'm doing this before researching power and torque because I need the weaker car at certain tracks like Dover and Bristol. Oh look, I got the pole at Dover. Unlike the previous races after Martinsville where I've backed off and just not lapped the field, this time I'm doing a lap the field challenge. Everything was going fine until Kenseth got in the way. I almost spun, but I managed to save it. For entertainment purposes, I will frequently show on-track accidents. It would be pretty boring if I just showed me crossing the start-finish line 128 times. Besides, I don't like the company sponsoring this car. And besides that, AI do not have any rights. Oh look, I got the pole at Michigan by several seconds. I suppose it's a foregone conclusion that I'm gonna win every single one of these races in Season 1, but I'm obligated to show you at least a few seconds of each race. I'll be using the roof cam for race 15 at Sonoma Speedway. I'll give you a few seconds to figure out why. Yeah, I'm not the best at road courses, but other than that, I think it's safe to say that it's a foregone conclusion that if I don't accidentally skip qualifying, I'm going to win every single race from the pole. Okay, so I'm not getting the pole this time. At least it's still a foregone conclusion that I'm gonna win the race. See the 48 car up there in the distance? Yeah, that's the race leader. I need to get to him before the final hairpin. Oh wait, this is the final hairpin. I just needed one more lap. Just one more lap and I would have had it in the bag. Oh, and by the way, my best sponsor is unhappy with a top 10 finish. Now I'm actually gonna have to wait those 5 races before my research finishes. Rats! It's race 2 to the 4th at Daytona and my car is at 93%. Not surprisingly, I got the pole and the checkered flag. Let's see if we can rebuild that winning streak. I won from the pole again on race 17 at Chicagoland. And I like the looks of this headline. Race 18 is at New Hampshire, which is one of the tracks where the AI cheat, but I won the pole anyways. Spun, but won anyways. And we have restarted our unprecedented winning streak. Race 19 is at Indianapolis, which is another track where the AI cheat. They need to cheat harder. Watkins Glen is another track where the AI cheat, but I'm incredibly good at road courses, so the win was easy. Once I stopped crashing during practice. Anyways, race 21 is at Michigan, and I got the pole again. These high-banked tracks are actually my strong point, so the AI had no chance either way. We're back at Bristol for race number 22, and as you can see, I took my opportunity to take out the Pfizer car. And now we're being told who's secured their spot in the chase for the cup. Then I won California from the pole again. Race 24 is at Richmond and is the last chance to get into the chase. If Pocono was in the game, we'd be on race 26 by now. Oh look, I won the race. For some reason, the game is unable to find the chase for the Nextel Cup logo, so it's just a white square. Oh look, grip research is completed. Time to build a new car. I'm gonna call it Gripper and I'll never replace it. Instead, I'm gonna use it for races like Bristol. Now I'm going to research torque. We're back at New Hampshire for race number 25 and race number 1 of the chase. I got a little bit complacent with beating the AI and Johnson pulled up beside me for a second place finish. Don't believe me? Here's the proof right here. But that's the last time I make that mistake. We're back at the Monster Mile for race number 26 and as you can see, I'm just barely not coasting to the finish line. I was keeping a very close eye on the distance to that 20 car. We're back at Talladega for race number 27 and the moment the green flag dropped I just pulled away from the rest of the pack. I decided to take the Lap the Field challenge at Kansas for race number 28. This is the last new track that you will see in this video before Homestead. So far the car doesn't have a scratch on it, but after a little bit of incidental contact I decided to reach for the F5 to check if there was damage, and in doing so I bumped the 17, which damaged the car. I still won the race, but failed to lap the field. We're back at the Lowe's Motor Speedway for race 29 and as you can see I decided to take it easy on the field. Everyone remained on the lead lap, but I still won the race. Oh look, we're back at Martinsville. What could possibly go wrong? If you guessed nothing, then congratulations, you are correct. I got bored at Atlanta on race 31, so I decided to take the Lap the Field challenge. I took the Lap the Field challenge again at Texas on race number 32. In both instances, I failed to lap the field. We're at Phoenix for the final time this season for race number 33 out of 128. Take a good look at this track because you're only going to see this track 5 more times in this video. According to this article, I didn't have to race, but NASCAR SimRacing forces me to at least start every race, and I get 34 points. And not only do I have to start the races, I have to do well in them, or my sponsors get very upset, in spite of the fact that I've already won the championship. The AI have no sense of courtesy in this game, and as you can see, the 9 tried to move up into me, so I tried to wreck him. I failed. But I did not fail to win the race, or the championship. Between seasons, I decided to tweak the settings files, so now we don't have that annoying overlay to worry about. I also increased the maximum draw distance of the mirror to make it a bit more useful. EA Sports, I'd like to report a bug. It's not showing my winning streak. If Pocono was in the game, this would be Homestead, but it's not in the game, so this is California, the second race of the second season. And look, I caught the back of the field. Didn't do that last time. I must say, a 21 race winning streak is impressive. Too bad the game isn't acknowledging it. At least I completed research early. Now to research the last category, power. Oh, and by the way, I need to build a new car. This is going to be named Default because I'm going to use it by default. So you could say this is the return of default. We returned to Las Vegas for race number 37 and as you can see I got spun off the track. It looks like I'm doomed to spin at least once every season. But at least my 21 race win streak has been increased to 3 races? Come on! Anyways, it was a foregone conclusion that I would win race number 38 at Atlanta. I wasn't planning to take the lap the field challenge for race 39, but my favorite driver forced my hand. So I spun Pfizer out again. Race number 40 is at Martinsville, and you'll never guess what happens next. That's right, I had to work my way through a crash in turn 4 of the last lap. Have absolutely no clue what could have caused it. We're not even halfway through all the races in this video, and I'm already being burnt out by this project. The burnout actually started about halfway through the previous season. Each of these races, plus the time spent between them, repairing the car, doing research, and signing sponsors, takes about 10 minutes. So now my motivation is to finish these races as soon as possible, which means lapping the field every race. And of course, not wrecking myself in the process. By the way, I want this video to be under 30 minutes, and since I allotted way too much time for each race in the beginning of the video, I need to play a little bit of catch up. And I guess I should have known that when every race is a foregone conclusion that I'd win from the pole, that I would run out of things to say. There's absolutely no chance of me finishing 43rd in race 43. We're back at Darlington for race number 44, and as you can see, I did not skip qualifying this time. I may have gotten distracted while trying to lap the field. Don't worry, I still won the race after saving the car. The AI are actually glued to most of these tracks. Case in point, this little battle right here. There's no reason why this car should not have already spun out by now. Especially since the bumpers don't line up. Oh look, a 3% race length at Charlotte is enough to lap the field. I now have just one more thing to research. Power level 5. We're at Dover for race number 47, and as you can see, I tried to dump Pfizer, but the AI are glued to the track. And when I say they're glued to the track, I really mean they're glued to the track. I full throttled this one and was still not able to dump him. Then the race ended before I could try again. Now I'm gonna have to wait a few races before I try again because of the track selection that's up next. I qualified pole after failing to crash out of qualifying at Infineon. The adverse banking had no adverse effects on my ability to navigate this corner. Don't worry, I still won because winning is a foregone conclusion. The final upgrade completed early, so I repaired the car, applied the upgrade, and this will be the last time you see this screen. You already know the results of race 50, so we're just gonna skip to the next race. I really need to work on my 3-wide skills. I won race 52 from the pole. Are you surprised? I won Indianapolis as well and definitely was not pushing too hard. 75% equals guaranteed victory, 95% equals guaranteed last. Here is irrefutable evidence that I won Michigan without a scratch. This is one of the tracks where the AI are not glued to Bristol, and by the way, trying to go 3 wide on the bottom was a terrible idea. I would like everyone to know that this is not how you recover from a spin. I made up for that 43rd place finish by winning California, and I followed that up with my second damage-free victory in a row. Make that 3 damage-free races in a row. I'm on a roll with these damage-free races. I had a scary situation on race 61 at Talladega when I accidentally got onto the apron. Fortunately, I managed to save it. And that's 5 races in a row where I failed to scratch the car. Race number 62 was like the previous 5 races. I won it without scratching the car. Race number 63 was about to be the same thing, except Kyle Petty decided to sabotage me. I may or may not have tried to accidentally wreck the 6 car again at a track where the AI are glued to the track, but at least they're not glued to the apron. Rats! Well, at least I won the race. I also won race 2 to the 6th. Seriously, this is a foregone conclusion. I got clipped in the right rear on race 65, which led to a very minor mishap that reduced the top speed of the car by about 10 to 15 miles per hour. And what do you know, I won. I also won race number 66 at the Texas Motor Speedway. Perhaps I should have gone into the settings file and upped the difficulty by 5% every time I won a championship. Race 67 was not the end of the season, but this is the end of the season. Can you tell me who won? Spoiler alert, it was me, along with the championship. I decided to spice things up for the start of Season 3 by starting in the back. Perhaps that wasn't such a good idea, but I need to practice homing my 3-wide skills, especially if I'm gonna shoot through the middle. And of course I win every race I don't wreck out of, not counting Infineon. What do you know, I deliberately skipped qualifying again for race 70. I still won. and I also won the race. For some reason, on race 71, I had to choose between overheating the engine and winning the race. Guess what I chose? On race 72, I discovered that the rear brakes are just way overpowered and I end up spinning on the pace lap. You see nothing? Absolutely nothing. Except the checkered flag, of course. Believe it or not, pushing through the middle is actually the safest of the 3 wide options available. On race 74, Kevin Harvick sabotaged my attempt to lap the field. I still won though. On race 75, I went full send on the 132 car. I would have been fine had the 151 car not decided to change to the bottom lane mid-corner. And perhaps straightening out the wheel after hitting the wall would have helped as well. I made up for that embarrassing finish by winning race number 76. I skipped qualifying for race 77 just to prove a point. Watch carefully. I am in absolutely no danger when I come off this corner. Wait for it. Not a scratch. Race 78 was going well until Junior slammed into me when I tried to lap him. But I still won. On race 79, I accidentally hit the escape key while reaching for the F1 key. Don't worry, I didn't quit the race. Here's 100% proof that I did not scratch this car. We're back at the longest race on the schedule. Time to lap the field. Well, so much for lapping the field. Oh, never mind. Looks like I just lapped the field anyways. EA Sports, I would like to make another bug report. Animations don't stop when the game is paused. I just discovered that little animation bug in post-production. Never seen it before. Anyways, we're back at Dover for race number 81, and as you can see, I've almost lapped the entire field. Then I had to navigate my way through some slow cars. Don't have a clue what caused it. And I won the race after successfully lapping the field. Race number 82 is at Michigan. There's not a whole lot to say about it except that I won without scratching the car. I broke the lap record for race 83 at Infineon by a few tenths. And yes, this is the track with the adverse banking. It's also the track with the absurdly high pace lap speed. No wonder the AI are so spread out at the start of the race. Oh, and I also won the race. Since you already know the results of race 84, we're gonna skip to race 85, which you also know the results of. I won race 86 without scratching the car, but the AI are morons in this game. I was able to improve my lap time on race 87 without overdriving the car. Are you proud of me? Oh, and I also won. At this point, there's really only one thing that can stop me from winning these races, and that's overconfidence. I finished in Super GT's favorite position because I failed to drive into oncoming traffic when recovering from my little spin. At the end of race 89, I decided to just coast to the start-finish line and let everyone finish on the lead lap. Not that it matters, since it would score everyone on the lead lap anyways. But after the last race, I wasn't in the mood to try and lap anyone. We're back at Bristol for race 90, and what do you know? I won the race. I again decided to let everyone finish on the lead lap on race 91. I decided to take the last to first challenge at Richmond, which should have worked. I spun Pfizer out and then locked up my tires on the next turn. I finished 7th. We are back at New Hampshire on race 93, and here's why the AI need to cheat at this track. We're back at Dover for race 94, and I decided to take the lap the field challenge. I succeeded. And here are the official results. Note the laps completed. We're back at Talladega for race 95, and you'll never guess who won. Because this is the last time that you will see Kansas, I decided to take the last to first challenge, and I succeeded. I decided to take the last to first challenge again on race 97. We didn't even complete 2 laps before I got the lead, and I also lapped the field. Then I finished race 98 without scratching the car, and I did the exact same thing on race 99. I wasn't so successful on race 100, but I did win. This isn't Racing 101, but I took the last to first challenge on race 101, and I kinda failed. It's a good thing flag rules are disabled for this video. By the way, I actually did take the lead, and I kept it. And it only took me 2 attempts without a race restart to accomplish this. And I also did the last to first challenge at the season finale at Homestead. You'll never guess who won. We're back at Daytona for race 103, and I decided to up the difficulty for this final season in the video. And by slightly I mean up to 100%. This should be realistic, but as you already know, the AI frequently cheat. In spite of my best efforts to make the car handle well during practice, I still ricocheted off the wall. Then I spun after clipping the AI. I also attempted to restart the race but ended up quitting instead. Oops. You'll be able to tell which tracks the AI cheat at by whether I start towards the front. My car is at 103%. By the way, Gmotor AI have absolutely no sense of spatial awareness. At least now the AI aren't glued to the racetrack. Oh, and by the way, the spotter is also useless. At least I finished on the lead lap, and not last. Believe it or not, Las Vegas is actually pretty easy at 95%, but not at 100%. And I've got good news. I finished on the lead lap. Good news, I'm faster at Atlanta than the AI, but the AI are moving chicanes. And they have no sense of spatial awareness. Qualified 5th at Bristol, this track was actually fun at 100% AI difficulty. If the recreation was a bit more accurate, I wouldn't have to resort to using the highline to run down the AI. But at least the AI gave me a good challenge. This move was not risky in the slightest. Believe it or not, I actually won race 107. Let's hope that Bristol isn't the only track I win at this season. 115% AI versus 103% player. Well, there's always the dive bomb option, and surprisingly, it got me quite a few positions. I didn't get a top 10, but I only need a top 20 to get paid. The recreation quality of Texas is very bad. On top of that, did I mention that the AI are rolling chicanes? But now it's my turn. And yes, I did just wreck on purpose. Phoenix is another track where the AI cheat. I had to push as hard as I can just to finish in the top 20. Oh look, the AI cheat at Talladega during qualifying. Hopefully that doesn't translate into the race. These rolling chicanes did give me some damage when they checked up in the middle of the straights, but I was able to get a top 10 out of it. Race 112 is at Darlington, and remember, I'm racing against AI that have no sense of spatial awareness. Except that would never become a factor. Race 113 was a stay on the lead lap challenge, which I succeeded in doing that. Race 114 was a keep the car in one piece long enough to get into the lead challenge, because the AI slam into you if you go 3 wide on them. Dover is actually a pretty good challenge if you don't count the fact that the AI are glued to the track and the player is not. One quick reset later and slightly cleaner racing and I'm able to take the lead. On race 116 I got my 3rd win in a row, so the AI aren't cheating hard enough. I messed up qualifying for race 117, so in order to make sure I gain as many positions as possible, I'm just going to skip the pace lap. Here's how not to take the final hairpin on the final lap. Thanks for saving me, Greg Biffle. We're back at the track. I accidentally quit last time, and would you look at that, I was able to keep up with the AI for the start in spite of their checkups. And this move right here won me the race. Psalm 119 is one of my favorite chapters in the Bible, but race 119 is more like a don't finish last challenge. And I actually succeeded in not finishing last. Race 120 was a finish on the lead lap challenge. Race 121, on the other hand, is a don't finish last challenge. 1 scratch and I'm toast. Yup, I'm toast. But at least I didn't finish last, and that's all that really matters here. At least the AI don't come to a dead stop during their pace lap checkups. I think I did pretty well for race 122, despite skipping the qualifying, which I couldn't do well in anyways. I technically jumped the start for race 123. No chance I'm gonna let the AI get beside me into turn 1. If that happens, the race is pretty much over. Yeah, I won the race, but it was difficult keeping the AI behind me, even though I have a much better car than they do. Started 10th on race 124, but I dive bombed the 16 to get the lead on the last lap, which is the only lap that matters. Oh look, it's the Hemorrhage Positions 500 at California. I wonder how well this race is gonna turn out. I didn't hemorrhage as many positions as I thought I would, and I took out some frustration on the 20 car. Oh look, it's the end of my enjoyment 400 at Richmond. Time to wreck the next car that gets past me, at all costs. I'm actually really surprised that the game did not black flag me for doing this, and yes, I would have to clear it before the end of the race. I actually regret setting the AI difficulty to 100% for this last season. Then again, EA Sports shouldn't have made a game that cancels the race whenever the player quits. By the way, I restarted the Richmond race several times before I gave up on it. I suppose I should have given up on this race as well, as I also reset this one several times. but at least I won. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry about the ending. And no, there's no way I'm going to redo this video. Not only was the grind draining, but the last few races was nothing but pure frustration for me. And there's also no way I'm gonna put more than one race in a video in the future. Ever. Except maybe the qualifying heats for the Daytona 500. Thank you for helping me reach 128 subscribers, and a shout out to DJ YJ who through a collab was able to help push me over the 128 subscriber mark. A link to his video will be in the description. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and share, and I will see you in the next video, hopefully in a better mood. This is T Chapman 500 signing off. Leave a comment if you made it this far into the video, and let me know if I should redo the video.